Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. I'm the Liverpool 12th Man, and I'm also joined by Scouts Lee and the Irishman. How you doing, Lee?
Good, mate. Excellent. Looking forward to
Good,
it.
good. How you doing, Brian?
Oh well, oh well.
All well, and good. We are live and direct, and also not only live and direct, we are here for the roll call. Bonkers, you were right. You were right. I actually watched the press conference after we concluded our episode yesterday because I didn't get a chance to watch it before the episode, and there were some very telling comments in the presser when I heard that one of the journalists asked a question about Ali, and he said, "Is Ali fit enough to start in this game?" And Slot answered honestly, yes. That kind of changed my mind as to, okay, I don't think Kelleher's going to start this one.
I think it was only me and Bonkers and someone else that called it that had Ali starting. I thought he was nailed on, but
yeah,
I
was. Go ahead, Lee.
I was hoping Jota would be on the bench, just even 10, 15 minutes at the end of this game. He can't come back soon enough for me, Diogo Jota.
I was hoping the same.
He didn't even make the plane, did he, Jota?
No, he did not.
Yeah, just looking at it from the point of view that we're being careful. We're just being careful with him, and making sure he's properly right, when he does come back. But
well, that's the whole thing. Even last year when he got injured right around this time, actually, he got injured last year, if you remember. He got injured I remember because we ended up missing out on him towards the end of December. and we had to kind of ease him back into the scheme of things of getting him involved.
If we can have him back in the side in between Salah and Diaz over the next 2 months, if we can have him over this next 2 months when there's a lot of league games, then we'll be in good shape.
We'll get his opportunity.
It's really going to add, isn't it, to our potency having him back, to finish some chances.
Yeah, plenty of games to get involved in. Also, not only plenty of games to get involved in, I'll tell you that the lineup is a strong lineup. Big up to everyone joining us, by the way. It is a strong lineup. I can actually, let me see. I can share this with you. Hopefully it doesn't, there's no things on there. So let me see if I can share this with you. So you can actually get to see the lineups.
Yeah, the Girona lineup's got a lot of ex-Premier League players in it, hasn't it? More than I realised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of names. Let's do this. All right, and we are ready to show. So this is the lineup that we're going to be seeing for today. 4-3-3. That's what they have us in, and they also have 4-3-2, 4-3-2-1 set up for our opponents. A lot of ex Premier League players on this Girona team, as Lee pointed out. Also, with our lineup, we went with a lineup of Mo Salah, Darwin Nunez, Lucho up front, Dom, Grav, Curtis in the midfield, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, and Robbo in that back line. And once again, returning to the lineup, we have Ali in net. So, interesting lineup. I don't know if we're going to see this lineup played, a lengthy spell today. Here's the, I'll show you what we have on the bench. I know Bonkers listed it in the chat for everyone as well, but here's a little visual for you. This is our bench. Not a full bench, by the way. Normally you can bring up to, I believe, 12 players in the Champions League. And we didn't even bring 9, which is sometimes the usual number that you see in the Premier League. And with that, on top of that, we even went as far as bringing 2 keepers on our list. So, so out of the 8 on the bench, 2 of them are keepers. So that leaves us with basically 6 players to choose from, and that is Norris, who is a youth academy player, and McConnell, who is technically a youth academy player, I guess. He has had a couple of senior starts, but I believe this would be Norris's first opportunity to get a start in a Champions League matchup. So that's a big day for the young lad. It's great to see Harvey Elliott, another young lad out there. He's definitely not. He's a more seasoned player, of course, but he is still very young. Harvey Elliott is featured on the bench, and primarily let me see real quick too, because James McConnell I know plays midfield. Let's see about James. Cooperate. Nope, not letting me do it. All right, well, it's not letting me click on their faces or get to the thing. But I'd have to look and see what James. I don't know what James Norris plays off the top of my head. Do you guys know anything about James Norris?
No, not about him. No.
Now it's popping up. Okay. Defender too, by the way. Okay. 21-year-old defender, 5'8". Interesting. Left footer. I like number choice though. Number 77. I like it.
Nalo, Neoni, and Dan's all played for the unders against Girona earlier today in the 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, 2-2 red card in that one too, by the way.
Yeah, Young was the guy, our guy who got sent off. Young. It was a nasty one, to be honest. But Trent Cohn-Doherty scored a great goal to bring it back to 2-2 towards the end. Dan's got a penalty. They got a penalty, and they scored a good goal as well. Great goal from Trent Cohn-Doherty, yeah.
Lee, definitely good shout, by the way. Yeah, so pretty much the only offensive minded player apart from maybe Elliott would be Cody on the bench. So should be, despite that's going very strong, because James McConnell is a midfielder, but he's not necessarily an offensive threat per se.
I think we've got enough on the bench.
Obviously defensive-minded. James Norris, a defender. Kwanzaa, a defender. Obviously the 2 goalies. And then you have that's it. You have Endo, McConnell, James Norris, and the 2 goalies, and Kwanzaa.
Provided we don't get any injuries during the game, that should be enough on the bench. We'll be able to take, freshen it up. Well, we've got Elliott, we've got Gakpo, we've got Endo. Mind you, that is about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
I would expect to see Elliott in this game. I would certainly expect to see Cody in this game at some point to give someone a refresh on that front line. Why seeing this lineup is slightly concerning is that we would have to, if we wanted to even get Mo Salah a rest, we would most likely have to play Lucho and Darwin, or have Elliott going as a right winger, I guess. It's just one of those cases where I wanted to basically, I don't mind going strong in this game. I just wanted to see us go to the point where we at least we go out, we get a nice size lead, and then we can we could have brought in some other players, but I was surprised to see that,
I've forgotten who did Nunes play for in Spain before he joined Benfica. He played for one of the lower clubs in Spain, didn't he? In the in La Liga, in the first division in Spain. Who was it Darwin was with before? When he came over from Uruguay, he didn't go straight to Benfica. He went to Spain and played there. I can't remember what team it was though.
It was Almeria.
Almeria,
I believe, was the team that he was at. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that's the team he was.
Almeria, yeah. Makes me think of the Pogue song Fiesta. Almeria.
Yeah. Makes me think of what's the Mamma Mia. That's what makes me think of. But big up to everyone joining us. Big up Redbird. Big up to Bonkers, who was here early from the very gate. Big up Red Armchair Supporter. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to those that saw the episode and sent some really cool and really inspired comments, by the way, for the episode. Definitely appreciate that as well. It means a lot to see the comments, and I do my best to try to answer each and every one of them. If I get the opportunity, I will certainly answer them. I figure you take the time to write to us, so I should take the time to write back, even if it's sometimes a little bit of a critique of the show or a critique of maybe myself or maybe whatever. So I do the best though, all the same.
Well, they can't be criticizing me anyway. That's all I know.
Yeah. No, never that. Your perfection. We have JK in the house as well. JK, how are you doing?
All good, bro. All good. Hope you guys do.
Hi, Jay. I wondered who it was then. I didn't recognise your avatar. I thought, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
A little anime, right?
Yeah, I like it, bro. I like drawing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a bit of that Japanese anime. Best one I've seen was Graveyard of the Fireflies. Very melancholy little piece. It was after the nuclear bomb in Japan. These two kids survive it and that and it's weird. It's dead good though. Really liked it. It was affecting, very affecting.
Wow, I'll have to check that out. Graveyard of the Fireflies.
Lugubrious was.
Bless Jimmy.
Yes, big up Jimmy in the house. What is good, my brother? Definitely. So like seeing this this lineup. Do you guys have any adjustments to your picks from yesterday? Any adjustments to your picks?
No.
I think I had Endo scoring in my pick. I mean, I guess I could adjust it.
You had Gapco
I
instead
thought
of Diaz.
I had it starting. So. Go ahead.
We had Gapco instead of Diaz up top. Wait a second. Gapco, Diaz, yeah. So we got Diaz instead of Gapco, yeah.
I could bring up the lineup. It has a video playing in the background, so that's why I was trying to get rid of it. I'll bring it up one more time here because they're going to start inundating us with ads and videos. But this is the lineup that we're going to be facing. Danjuma up front for them, Gil, Asperia in that 2 spot. In their midfield, they have Gutierrez, Ramu, they have Van der Beek, Francis.
Romeo had a few good games against us. Like he's not a bad player. Romeo puts his foot in, Donny. He had a few good games.
Oh, let's hope he's a bad player today. And then Blind and Gazaniga.
The blind, leading the blind.
And Krutchka, I think that's how you say it. Krutchki. I don't know.
Okay.
Brian's usually good at that. How do you say his name, Brian?
I can't see it, man.
I can't either. With me,
That's pretty big. Let me see if I can make it bigger now. Hold on. KREJC with like two little lines and an I.
Crazy, yeah, something like that. Don't know. You got Gazaniga, who's playing the Premier, Danny Blind, Brian Gill, Danjuma, Van de Beek, Ari Romeo. Yeah, there's a lot of ex-Premier League boys in there.
Let's see if I any better. Where's that? Here you go.
Oh, right, okay. Ooh.
So should be interesting how they come and set up against us. Should be interesting also how we can try to get at them as well when it comes to getting through the midfield. They only have one lone striker up front. Excuse me. This is our lineup. It's been set up a little bit different now. They originally had us in a 4-3-3. Now they've established that we're going to be playing 4-2-3-1 with Dom in the 10 spot and having Curtis and Grav in the pivot. Let me bring this down. So
interesting to see that he's put Joe straight back in after taking him off.
And to see that they're again, like, to see, what do you think? Do you think that this means that Ali's going to play against Fulham, or do you think that this is just like a kind of like warm-up game, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Since it's not dire that we win this game or not.
I think once he comes back in, he'll stay in.
Oh, you think for all competition? Okay.
Yeah. I think
you think the same?
Fulham, yeah.
Do you think the same, Brian?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, unless he has a bad reaction to tonight, he's back now. Back in the team. That's what I wanted him to play, get some minutes under his belt, and back in the league team then.
Wouldn't it be sweet if Canate's injury wasn't as long as they thought, that it's only like 3 weeks or something rather than like 4 or 5? It said 4 to 6 weeks, didn't it? Do you think it'd be the full 6 weeks or what? Do you think we might see him a bit sooner?
Yeah. Oh,
doesn't look that way.
Yeah. Roll call, Nalante.
Hang on, Auntie.
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, big up,
Bless, bro.
big up guys. What's happening? What's happening, man?
All good. Looking forward to the game.
I'm looking forward to a win.
There you go.
Strong lineup, nice
Looking
lineup.
forward to seeing us play. It feels like forever since we played now.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Interesting to see Naby Kais has gone to a new club already. He's gone to Hungarian side, Ferencváros.
Yeah, he's had disciplinary issues. I've heard he's not gone with the management. It's a shame, man. Naby, man,
I know it's one of them things, isn't it? But you look at it and you feel bad, like. But it's symbolic of what's happened to him since he had his injuries. He just isn't there, is it? His fitness, and he could have been such a great player for us, couldn't he? We seen it in glimpses, didn't we? Just how good he really was.
Old Trafford away.
Yeah. That was brilliant. A brilliant.
That was his best game for us.
So good. He got kicked
off. No, there's a better game.
So good. They had to kick him off the pitch.
Which one?
The FA Cup semi-final against Man City. Him and Thiago, they were saucing. That was a dream midfield. Him and Thiago.
The year we won the Champions League, he was dead good in the home game to Porto. He was really good that night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Naby, I get what people were going to say, but I don't think he was, again, it's hard. I don't think he was bad as what people made out to be. He wasn't, it's the same with Ox. It's not like there were flops. To me, they were just the injuries. I And I hate when people say a flop. A flop is when you're completely rubbish. Like,
No,
I,
Ox was a hit. Ox was a massive hit. It's just that injury in
yeah,
Rome.
this
That
is
injury
this
Yeah.
is
in Rome, wasn't
exactly
it?
this.
Ox had good games for us too, like very important like
Yeah, both of
performances.
them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the injuries.
Even when he come back and he wasn't what he was fitness-wise, he still scored some belters, mate. And he was scoring
Big up
quite a
Jimmy.
lot.
Big
Remember
up.
we went away to West Ham and he got the win. When Mo was away at AFCON, he got the winner twice in a run of about 5 games, and we needed him, and he showed up and scored the winner twice in tight games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. If both of them were fully fit in most seasons, then we'll be having a different conversation. There's certain
Yeah.
players that may not even reach this club. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. No. If Naby was a talented player, let's
Yeah,
not get it twisted. He was a talented player before he came. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously we had high hopes and high aspirations for him, considering he was a player that another one of those players that we went in for and had to wait an entire year before he actually joined the team.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
something where you go, oh, we got to transfer, yeah, but we'll see him next year.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, it's a
We'll have
record
a thought,
signing.
you know.
You don't ever make somebody your record signing if you don't, you know.
yeah, it's a year in
But,
advance.
We
Mm.
should have pulled the plug on that deal. The second they said that we'll do it, but you have to wait a year. We should have pulled the plug on that because they talked about it. I've seen a really good interview with some of the coaches who talked about how far behind the project he was and how much later he joined, and the fact he got injured meant that it was kind of nearly 2 years before we got to see Naby and the style of play that Jurgen had envisaged him being part of. We changed all of that. Like the timing of that, we should have threatened to pull the plug, and I bet they would have sold him to us. And then Jurgen wanted him that day. Jurgen wanted him right now for that team. And so waiting a year, I don't think we've ever made that mistake since, have we? I know like we did it with Mamrashvili, but that was kind of our decision to send him back. You know, it just took the wind out of the transfer, I thought, and took him so long to get back up. But like Nalante, wasn't it? Yeah, that midfield with him and Thiago in it when they were on form. Jeez.
That
had everything.
The NFT, right? Wasn't that the nickname for him?
Yeah, Fab, Naby, Thiago. Yeah, man. Honestly, that was when they fit. That FA Cup. That's one of the best games I've seen from a first half Liverpool. Honestly, the way they were controlling, that was a prime Man City, near enough. That was a new version of Man City. The way they kept the ball sourcing, that's one of the things Klopp, man. That Champions League final, he made some bad decisions in terms of picking players, which kind of cost us in the end, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, no, just the team in terms of who he picked for me. He didn't pick the form players. I don't like this sentimental fact. I like players that are in form for me. But he played players that were not 100% fit, and he showed in the end. So, you know, but it is what it is.
Good question here by Robert. Big up, Robert, by the way. Big up to all those that are joining us. Big up. Roll call is live and direct, live and well. Yeah, still no return date for Simicast. Do you think we will sign a left back in January? Robbo will need some rest at some stage. That's a good point. I mean, you know, people have been talking about Robbo and his form and his ability to you know, not only stay fit but also be able to keep the level that is going to be necessary as a everyday starter.
Yeah, I would say at all the positions that we could possibly buy in January, left back is probably one of the least likely positions we will buy in this January. It more likely be the summer if we do, I think, at left back. And maybe in other positions we might buy possibly, but I don't think we'll get a left back in January. I think if that happens, it'll happen in the summer.
I do like the guy Kirk has, though. He is a good player.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he's really good. Kirk actually, he looks like he's got good potential for us. You know, you could see him in our side. Like he's quite dangerous going forward as well. He can finish, can't he? He's got a decent left foot there, getting in. Yeah, I like him. It's just the fee, isn't it? Just depends on the fee. Would they want an outrageous fee? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like if you're buying a 40 million or 50 million pound player, chances are you're buying him to play, not to necessarily sit the bench per se,
Mm.
and certainly not to sit behind. Simicast hopefully will return at some point. I don't know the extent of his injury, but I do know that eventually he will return. So you'd have 3 left backs on the roster if you went in January.
Yeah.
That's
I
low.
know. It'd only be if
That's
we sold Simicast, I think. I think we'd sell Simicast first and then move. I don't think we'll buy one and keep them too.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian. You said you were about
yeah, I
to say
think
something.
that's the point. Not James Pierce. David Lynch was kind of saying it was kind of a funny one. There's like a couple of players that are being talked about being injured,
Mhm.
and like there's talk. Oh, could we go out and get replacement for this guy? Could we get a replacement for that guy? But they're all due back in January.
Mhm.
Eagles due back in January. Simi's due back in January. So, like you're saying, you'd be going out and buying someone, and then these players again. Look, Robbo could be injured then. Simi could come back, and Robbo could then be injured.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I don't see a left back in January. No, I think you've got Joey G, you got Robbo, then you got Simi. I think we'll be all right there. Yeah, like Lee's saying, if there's money to be allocated somewhere, maybe in a different
In the
area of the
summer
pitch.
window.
Mm.
Definitely doing a bit of the groundwork on this guy Carquez. If he is someone we like, I'm sure they'll be doing the groundwork. That shouldn't be a difficult deal at all. I mean, player, club, Bournemouth will go. It's Liverpool. The player's going to want to go. We're not going to stand there going, "Oh, you're not taking one of our players." It's just give us what we want for him, and it won't be crazy money. So that should be a deal. If we want someone like that, get in early, 28 to 35, that kind of price tag, nothing crazy.
Mm.
But yeah, only in the summer.
Mm.
Yeah. I emphasize that too. Your point is spot on.
It'd be a good deal around that price, wouldn't it? Like you say, 28 to 35, that'd be a good deal to do, given his age and that, like, international player, blah, blah, blah. Him and Robbo as 2 to pick from sounds good to me. And
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, look, if there was ever a need or something like that, we probably would have gone in especially as soon as Ibu got injured. People were already trying to get us another center back, for instance, or center half. I was in that included. I wouldn't have minded seeing us go out, we were always talking about our Bastoni, that was lofty, I guess, expectations. But but even with Ibu injured, Ibu is about to, if not already close to, signing a new extended contract to his deal. He's eventually going to be returning to the team, and it just makes it that much more of a, what we can call it a somewhat logjam to see how you get a player to say, yeah, I want to join your team, when you know that the pathway towards starting or keeping a starting spot isn't necessarily as assured as you would like to think. Big up, High Lore. How are you? Hope I said hello to Red Armchair Supporter. I believe I did. But I'll say it again. Definitely so. So again, Nalante, I asked the group. Also, I did ask Lee. I want to make sure that everyone hears it. Lee has a 3-1 score being his prediction as well. Just so that you know that everyone has gotten in their scores as well. I was going to say, did you have anything this lineup? Does it change who you think is going to be on that scoring sheet for you? And do you think it's going to change that score in general?
Not really, to be honest, tough man. I still go for my 4-0 score line.
4-0?
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with the lineup, I can't lie. But the lineup is, again, strong enough. I mean, yeah, we should be winning this comfortably.
Okay. Give the panel another shot. Nalante gave his.
What would you change with the lineup, Nalante? You said you're
I
not
would
happy
not-
with it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have started Allison, but it looks like Slot is just. There's certain quotes that Slot have said, so he's just kind of. I kind of slyly, I don't kind of like it, kind of just getting that Kelleher for the mistake when he's been brilliant for us. I don't think I would rush. Well, it's not a rush, really. I don't think I would start Allison in this game. Let Kelleher, still play this game, the next one or two, and then if you want Endo, it should be starting for me. I don't think you need to start. Gravenberch should be rested for me, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
And you could start Konzo in there. I don't think with injury prone, I don't think we need to go this strong against. But again, the caveat is we had a week off, but I'm still not bothered. You can just rest, give some of these
He
players.
did mention that. He did mention that. And he said that the extra amount of rest did change some of the it did alter some of the lineup ideas, basically.
Yeah. If we would have played the derby, it might well have been a slightly different lineup.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, by the way, that this extra amount of time. Well, I don't know if I'll save it for. I'll break it out. Yeah, I do hope that this extra amount of time benefits. You're hearing it first to the blue side of Liverpool.
Mate, it has to. We're in a crisis. We drew a game. We actually drew a game. We're not used to this, are we? Like, we expect wins every week. It's a crisis for us, this.
Oh, you had to get off the draw slide. There, the two things I was want to say real quick was that to the blue side of Liverpool, I hope that this extra amount of time, which is like a week and a half about, that they have to prepare for the weekend is well served, by the way, for their trip to London. I hope it is very well served. And as far as our draw, do you realize that we've played 18 matches? Correct? Played 18 matches. And out of those 18 matches, we have 1 loss and 2 draws. I don't think many people, myself included, would have had us being that in that kind of form, at least going into
I'll take that.
The first week of December. Go ahead, Chicken.
Yeah, I said, like, at the start of the season, if you told us in December we'll have them stats there, lost 1, drew 2, and won the rest, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even a big fan of Arnie Slot, I'll tell you the truth, at the start. So I have to say, because I said he has to sort of prove himself to the club and to the fans and stuff.
Oh wait, you weren't part of the whole hashtag slot out, like
I wouldn't go that far, bro.
Like the fake Don.
Yeah. Like, for me, I always say this, like, you got to give people and players and managers and coaches a chance. Players, sometimes it might take them 1 season, 2 seasons to sort of switch their game around. Even coaches and that. Ronald de Boer got sacked after 4 games when he was at Palace. So, yeah, I've never been slot out, but I wasn't a big fan of his before he came in because I didn't really know too much about the guy. But he's done pretty well for him, for the club so far. Respect.
Yeah. I'm sure you're pretty glad that you reserved your critique, or not, you reserved your opinion on him until
my agenda.
Yeah.
I kept it in the back.
Yeah. Your agenda. Your agenda is about as likely as Nolante's agenda. As the fake Don tried to call him out on or something like that. Like, whatever, man. Fake news, man. Fake news. But big up to everyone that is joining us. Roll call is important because we get an opportunity to say what's good to each other before we go on to watch this game, whether it's couch side, whether it's pub side, whether it is simply, online side, for that matter, or even pitch side. We end up getting to do what we love best, which is say our best wishes to our fellow Reds, and also wish them obviously a safe journey and a safe trip to wherever they're going to watch this game, and also a victory for our Reds would be nice in return as well. So let's hope on that too. Marcus is saying,
See, Highlaw says in the chat that Clavan's just retired. I mean, he played a good part, didn't he, Clavan, in that early Klopp when we were just getting our act together. Clavan did quite well for us, I thought.
yeah, I
He
agree
only
with that.
cost a few bob, didn't he, from Augsburg? He didn't cost much, did he?
Well, he has an absolutely boss first name. So how about that? I can say that about him.
Yeah. He was
Ragnar is a legendary name in the Viking.
Yeah, I've seen that show. What is it? Ragnar
Vikings.
Lothbrok, that's it.
Yeah. Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yeah.
Yes. Legendary king.
No, he did play.
I know he's not popular in England, but he was legendary in the Viking.
He was good value for money, Clavan. I think it was like 4.2 million or something silly we paid for Clavan from Augsburg.
Big up, KJ. Big up. I hope that you are well and good. I don't think KJ gave us a score. You want to get a score in real quick, KJ, by any chance? I don't think he gave us a score yesterday. I don't have one down for him. If you want to get a score in real quick, KJ, score and a prediction on your scores, we can add it to the list. We still got to come up with a scoring system for this to figure out how we're going to do it. But
my prediction was 3-1. 12 tells me I'm the only person that so far predicted we concede the goal.
Well, now someone just joined your camp.
Excellent.
KJ has said 3-1. Interesting. All right, KJ. Okay.
I hope it's not true, by the way. I hope we predict wrong and that we win 2-0 or 3-0.
Yeah, we've been the 2-0s have been more of the prominent score. There's actually I'll have to look.
That was my prediction for the Newcastle game 2-0. So I've gone the other way today. I've gone for us conceding and hoping that it doesn't actually happen.
No worries. Work is always important. You gotta put food on the table, so we understand that, KJ. Wish you the best, as always. But drop in who you got scoring as well too, KJ, and I'll make sure that you are part of the little makeshift little game that we're gonna do. We'll have to figure out how we're gonna do it. Like if you get the right score, it's a certain amount of points, and if you get extra bonus points for calling out who scores or something like that.
Well, you could do basically, you just pick whether you want to pick 50, 100, but you give a certain point level for the correct result. You could give a higher point level for the correct score. Then you could give a set number of points for every correct goal score. And then if you got, say, the result and the goal score is correct, you get, say, a bonus or something, whatever. But you could give a point for getting the correct result, then higher points for getting your score right, and then say like 10 points, whatever you want to allocate points, then each of them for every correct goal score. And if you got everything right, say if you said 2-0 Virgil and Mo, and it was 2-0 Virgil and Mo, then you get all the points and an extra, say, for getting it all right.
My predicted scorers were Salah, Diaz.
He just worked it all out.
Yeah, I predicted Salah, Diaz, and Jones to score our 3 goals in a 3-1 win.
Yeah.
Salah, Diaz, and Jones.
Yep. I originally had Joey, Endo, and Cody with a 3-0.
I'm going to predict that Darwin gets an assist.
But now that Endo will play, but he'll probably come in late. Cody's not starting, and the only way Joey's scoring is off a set piece, probably. I will adjust my scorers to be Darwin to get a brace and
a brace of assists.
And maybe who's going to be the third? That's a good question. Who's going to be the third? I'll go with Darwin for a brace, and I'll go with Dom as well. I'll go Darwin and Dom. Excuse me. So, let's see. Oh, wow, that's not good. It seems like our future goalkeeper, whether starter or backup, is injured.
Not good news. Never good news to hear that. To hear that, is it?
Oh wait, Robert, do I not have you in here? I got you, Robert.
It's not his hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's just bruised his elbow or something. It's not his hamstring.
Yeah.
He's a big lad. There's a lot of them to get injured.
Excuse me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I clicked from my throat.
No, I was saying he's a big lad. There's a lot of them to get injured. So anything.
Yeah. Nunez. Let's see. D9. So Robert has his picks as D9. Trent. Be nice to see Trent get a goal too. VVD and Lucho. All right. Got it in there for you, Robert. Got it in for you. Yeah. So now I guess you started a trend, Lee. Now because KJ and now Robert all have us conceding a goal.
Even the doubting Thomases of this world.
Yeah, exactly. What's that all about? Let's get this. Let's go, people. Let's go. Clean sheet. Ali's back. Best goalkeeper in the world. Let's see. We shall see.
Well, yeah, even their goal is an own goal from us.
Oh, goodness. Don't put that in the
What
universe,
about
man.
the score?
Don't put that in the universe. Anyways.
There was a lot of links to Danjuma at the time.
Mm.
I know he went to Villarreal first, but we were definitely been linked with him. He did well for Watford. Yeah, Watford. He was at Bournemouth as well, I know, but he kind of kicked off at Watford. I just remember. Yeah, a bit of a weird one off. He went to Villarreal. He was in talked about sort of.
He was at Everton too, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw there was an article, one of the articles that I was reading, it had a picture of Danjuma in his Everton kit. I was like, oh, wow.
Sarr is the guy at Watford I was thinking of. We were linked with him. It is Ismaila Sarr.
Oh, Sarr, definitely. Yeah,
Sarr,
definitely. From Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went Spurs. He went Spurs, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a mad career, but yeah, he's dangerous, so we know that much.
I know there's two Sarrs too. There is another Sarr too. I think does he have another brother?
Oh, there's lots of Sarrs. Yeah, there's a Papa Malang Sarr. I think it's Papa Malang Sarr is at Spurs right now, and then Ismaila Sarr is the winger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Malang Sarr is like the defensive mid.
Ismaila Sarr, yeah, he's the one that is. He's not with you. He's with Crystal Palace.
Oh, that's a different Sarr again.
Mm.
There is a Sarr at Spurs, Danjuma.
So Ismaila Sarr is the one that was at Watford. Then he went to Marseille, excuse me, and then he went to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Danjuma was on loan at Everton. He was on loan at Tottenham. He left Bournemouth to go to Villarreal, which is when everyone thought he was going to join a big club. Mm-hmm. Then he went to Tottenham on loan. Then he went to Everton on loan, half season each. Mm-hmm. And then now he's at Girona on loan. And he hasn't scored. He's played 11 times and he's yet to score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he's quick. I don't think he's really a striker though, Danjuma.
Yeah,
he's more of a wider player, but
yeah,
he has a lot of pace. That's really it.
That's really what we're saying. What I was saying is, the Pape Matar Sarr is the one at Spurs, but the one you're thinking of is at Crystal Palace.
Oh, Ismail Assar, the winger, he went to Palace from Watford,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because he was.
Yeah, there are many stars.
Yeah,
Like
there
I said.
are. We've had a
Well,
lot
he
of
went. He
yeah.
went to. I think he. Like I said, I think he went to Marseille. He went to Marseille before he went to Crystal Palace, actually. But he
Yeah, I
was
was never
because Watford got
completely
Watford.
away.
That was the year that Watford beat us. Before we were going on, we could have went. We could have got the
Yeah. Yeah.
the Invincibles.
Record
Yeah,
points.
he was a part of that Watford, and then they got relegated. I think that year,
They did.
right?
And he stayed.
Yeah, and he
Everyone
stayed.
thought he was going to leave. He stayed there.
Yeah, yeah. And then he ended up going eventually to Marseille, and then from Marseille is where he found himself to go to Crystal Palace. But we were very Jurgen Klopp was reportedly very, very a big admirer of him.
Yeah.
And his talents.
That was a shame, that game. I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that we would have smashed that City record points total to bits if COVID wouldn't have happened. Anyone with a fully functioning brain understands that.
I don't. Explain it to me.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, some people think our title doesn't count because there was a break in it or something for a bit. It's like a one that doesn't count.
It's silly. That whole conversation is so silly.
Oh, I remember Karen Brady saying that the whole season should be called off because West Ham were in the relegation zone.
And it was what was crazy about it is I remember people saying, "Let's just call the season, but give the season to Liverpool because we were so far out that we had pretty much clinched the season anyway."
Yeah, it was such a shame the way that happened. Like the whole thing was just like.
And we ended up doing that too. We ended up winning the season, winning the Premier League in the shortest amount of time, or shortest amount of games, I should say, not amount of time. Obviously, because of the break.
Bloody ads being against
the only reason the other people wanted that, they were saying that they wanted that, is because they did it in a couple of countries, and there just was. If they cancelled the league, nobody won it.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that like we either wouldn't win it, or because it wasn't mathematically done, they'd always be able to point and say, yeah, but you didn't technically win it. You only won it because it was cancelled. The City could have still caught up. You weren't mathematically champions.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just get it, even if it only meant like playing the games to decide mathematically who was relegated and who was title winners. Yeah, if they'd done that, we never would have been allowed.
That's why it would have been really.
We never would have been allowed to celebrate. Every other fan now going, yeah, that wasn't a real title. It was cancelled. Yada yada yada. They wouldn't have been. We wouldn't have been allowed to call that a title, even if we'd been given it.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
That must have made them feel better that it disturbed our flow, because we really were in a flow when it was called off. Was it smashed that record points total to bits there, and now Jürgen and the team were just in the mood, weren't they? They had the bit between their teeth.
Yeah, we probably would have smashed that Centurion record too, probably too.
Yes.
And it was kind of silly for those people making those kind of comments. And they still try to do it to this day, which is sad. Most of them are like rivals, so it's not surprising.
Oh, the next people will think too.
Yeah. Which is understandable. I mean, like, as rivals will do what they want to do, which is try to sow deceit and try to belittle your accomplishments. That's always the case. There'll be there's always the Bernardo Rat Silva on the sideline drinking his water bottle and not clapping in the guard of honor. It's always those guys. It's always one, at least. But we are less than 10 minutes away from kickoff, people. So
it could be a nice game this tonight. Could be an enjoyable game this tonight.
Yeah.
And it's good to get away from
weird
5 minutes, isn't it? And have a Champions League game. Just to,
I am wondering why they made it, and I'll ask you this, Lee, too. because I didn't mean to cut you off. I was to say I am wondering why they made our game the early game as well, which is kind of interesting, or why they had to make an early game at all, possibly.
Oh, there's always an early round. That's one of the new things because there's more games now. Like Celtic are playing now. Celtic have had 3, I think, because they always play freaking like I can't watch Liverpool on TV here. They have Celtic on instead. And they've had 3 Celtic early games now. I think it's because of
they start the same time as us, but yeah.
There's an early round every game week, every game night or game day. There's an early round of games now and a later round of games, which is what they used to do in Europa League because there's extra teams involved.
Because of the extra games.
Yeah, because of the extra games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 games today. A lot of games.
Yeah, Irish TV is showing Celtic, and then they're showing bloody Aston Villa later on. So whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, get some of that.
Well, playing the early game means we have a couple of hours extra rest before Fulham for the players.
Yeah. So
it's probably good. And it's good that it's on a Tuesday as well, like after give us that extra day as well. So, is the Fulham game on a Saturday or a Sunday?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Or Saturday 3 o'clock. Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff.
Oh, I think
well, Saturday morning for me, but yes.
Yeah. Thought you meant 12:30 then at first. God forbid.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through. The other games are Dynamo versus Celtic. That's a tough game to pick, but
Villa lost to Bruges, eh?
What's that?
Villa lost to Bruges, KJ. So.
Well, that was the last time. They're playing later tonight. That was their last early.
Bruges
that was the last one, yeah.
78 final. I remember some idiot rival fan was saying that, you played crap teams in the European Cup final in the old days. Said, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bruges. You wouldn't get to the final if you were crap. That Bruges team was good, knocked out Juventus in the semis. And then Mönchengladbach, they were a brilliant team. They succeeded the Bayern Munich team that, had just won. Bayern Munich had won it 3 years in a row, the European Cup, before us, and kept winning the German league. But Borussia Mönchengladbach were a brilliant side. His dickhead rival fan, I can't even remember which club he supported, but he said all the finals were against rubbish clubs.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid plays Bratislava. I'll go Madrid in that one. I'll go Lisbon versus Club Bruges. I think Sporting will get the win in that one. Aston Villa goes to Leipzig. I've been wanting Villa to do so well. They're just a weird club this year. Very, very difficult club. I don't know if it's playing in Champions League is really having that big of an adverse effect on them or not. I'm not certain, but Leipzig is a good team. RB Leipzig is a good team. So let's go draw on that one. PSV versus Brest. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. And I'm certain that there are some that have their favorites in that game. And then Leverkusen hosts
Well, as
Inter
long
Milan.
as they go 2 up front,
Going to be the second biggest game. That's going to be the biggest game of the second tier. Maybe that's why they staged it like the way they did. Maybe
I don't know if anyone else ever heard this, but when Louis van Gaal used to say "Brugge," it sounded like he was coughing or something. He'd go, "Brugge, Brugge." It was dead deep, his voice. Louis van Gaal, when he'd say Bruges, we say Bruges. Brugge, Brugge. Sounded like he was coughing. Brugge, Brugge.
Bayern Munich is going to be against Shakhtar. PSG, very important game for PSG. They've got Salzburg. Real Madrid is going to be taking on Atalanta. It's a very important game for Real Madrid too, by the way. It's a must-win for them. Very big must-win for them, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen their lineup, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went strong in their lineup as well. They certainly have the fortune of having a great bench to even if they use their bench players, it still looks like a strong lineup. 2 minutes away from kickoff, people. 2 minutes away from kickoff. And the early two games that are going to be kicking off in about a minute or so is going to be obviously our game against Girona and also, again, Celtic versus Dynamo. So some interesting games, some very interesting games. But we're going to allow for you guys to enjoy wherever you're going to be watching it. Hopefully you can remain safe in wherever you choose to watch this game. I hope that is an enjoyable one for you. Anything you guys want to say to people for they take in the game? We go Lee, Brian, JK, and then Alante.
I just noticed that Melissa Reddy's accent is the subject of a bit of chat there in the comments. Yeah, she has got an interesting accent, Melissa Reddy.
Okay. We are going to let you guys go, but JK, do you want to say something? Or Brian, excuse me. Brian, do you want to say something to people?
Just the usual. Enjoy the game wherever you are, and we'll see you on the next one.
Okay. And Nalante, do you want to say something? Or JK, I keep going out of order. I see the order, but I see this order too. JK, do you want to say something to people?
Yeah, I was just going to enjoy the game. Back to kick off now, and let's get a win. You know,
let's get this win.
Yeah.
Nalante. Anything before we get to watching this game? No, he might be already watching the game, possibly. So there you have it. Either way, we wish that you. I'll say most likely. I'm sure Nalante won't mind me saying that we all wish you a great game and great experience. And we will see you most likely on the flip side of this with a match reaction. Hopefully, it will be a W match reaction. And until then, let's get these 3 points, as KJ just said. Up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. And we'll see you for the viral match reaction on the other side. All right. Take care, guys.